Memory. It's the key to our identity.
Without memory, we're nothing.
It's who we are.
Memory hackers. Right now.
Probably one of the things you don't know about Philadelphia is the Bible riots. For a couple of weeks back in 1844, Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, was torn apart by a series of deadly, violent, vicious riots. And at the heart of it all was immigration and religion, two things we're still dealing with in America. The problem came about because there were large numbers of Irish Catholics coming into Philadelphia and into America. And many Americans at that time, Protestant Americans, hated Catholics and they hated the Irish. They were thought to be scum unloaded on the wharves, taking American jobs. They were being blamed for all the disease that was tearing through America at the time. In fact, there was a very deadly cholera epidemic that killed over 1,000 people in Philadelphia at the time. And the Irish were blamed for this. This all spilled over into the bloody street fighting in May of 1844. The Catholic Bishop of Philadelphia had asked that children not be forced to read the King James Version, but instead read a more Catholic-friendly version of the Bible. Somehow that got turned into the bishop being said to be taking the Bible out of schools. And this actually boiled over into violence. More than 30 people died in these so-called Bible riots. Hundreds of Irish Catholic homes were burned to the ground. 2 Irish Catholic churches were also completely destroyed, and another was badly damaged. When it was all over, a grand jury blamed the violence on the Irish because they had been trying to take the Bibles out of the public schools, which was of course a lie. The story of the Philadelphia Bible riots is one of those tales that's fallen into that black hole we call American history, the hidden history that our textbooks leave out. And that's why I've included it in my new book, A Nation Rising. It's one of the 6 stories I tell, and it's a piece of America's hidden history that's so important to understand.
While all this was going on, Bishop Kenrick of Philadelphia asked Catholics to offer no resistance, and he urged them to wait for the law to deal with the rioters. In contrast, a first-hand account at the time described the burning of St. Michael Church in Philadelphia. They said, "While the church was burning, a shouting mob surrounded the building, and when the cross fell from the roof, 3 vociferous cheers were given. The streets rang with shouts of derision, and the fife and drum corps played." Another account at the time described the burning of a convent. They said it was surrounded by a furious mob clamoring for the destruction of the Irish nuns. And the Philadelphia riots weren't the first riots that were aimed at Catholics in the United States. 10 years earlier, in 1834, in the Ursuline convent riots, a Protestant mob burned down a convent because Catholics had protested against being required to read from the King James Bible in public schools. It probably seems hard for people nowadays to fathom why Catholics from about 150 years ago or so thought that it was so important to use a Catholic Bible instead of a Protestant Bible. Nonetheless, it really was important to them. Many people were killed in the Philadelphia Bible riots, and a very good case can be made that they died as martyrs. In Eastern Catholic churches, when somebody dies, people say, "May his memory be eternal." So, how have we honored the memories of our murdered forefathers in Philadelphia? If Catholics are now using the New American Bible, which is essentially a Protestant Bible in their homes and churches, we could ask, was the sacrifice of those who were killed in Philadelphia meaningless? Well, it may seem meaningless to many of us, but it certainly wasn't meaningless to them. We're going to be back again in about a week with the 4th of this 4-part series, but in the meantime, please pray for the church.